Okay, this weekend in Paris, France, I did a video on Tai Tuivasa versus Cyril Gane, but in the co-main event, the UFC are really bringing out the big guns. They're trying to make a big splash in Paris, in Europe, keep the ball rolling, keep the hype, the momentum going, and trying to have an amazing event in Paris because the main event is incredible, right? Tai Tuivasa taking on Cyril Gane. But the co-main event, I mean, come on, if you're a fan of mixed martial arts, if you love great technicality, you want to see two of the best middleweights on the goddamn planet. You don't want to miss this fight. I am, of course, talking about Robert Whittaker, the Reaper, taking on Marvin Vettori, the Italian Dream. Now, you got to think, first of all, with it being in France, hopefully for Marvin Vettori, there's going to be a tremendous amount of Italians in the building, giving him a tremendous amount of support. So I'm really happy for Marvin for that because Marvin's a great guy. I've spent a lot of time with him. I've had dinner with him on a couple of occasions. Lovely fella, hell of a fighter inside the octagon. So this is going to be an action-packed fight. It's as simple as that. Marvin Vettori is an absolute beast. He's an absolute warrior. There's no fear in that man. He's got a hell of a chin. He hits hard and he's a fighter through and through. And everything I just said applies to Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker is an absolute warrior. You know, and that sounds like he's a warrior, bro. No, he's a fucking warrior. He really is. The pair of them are. I am telling you right now, that will be fight of the night. The entire building is going to be on their feet. The stadium, they're all going to be losing their minds. Okay? Not going to be too much Australians in the building. I wouldn't have thought. It's a bit of a long way from Australia is Paris, but there'll be a lot of Italians. But the fight's going to be fucking sensational. Now, here's another reason why I respect both of these men for taking this fight. The last person that Robert Whittaker fought was Israel Adesanya. And in fact, the only person to beat Robert Whittaker in the middleweight division is Israel Adesanya. He's beaten him twice. Last time out against in UFC 271. He did better than what he did the first time. Of course, the first time against Izzy, he was knocked out early in the second round. Kind of finished in the first, but Izzy finished it off in the second. He was saved by the bell. Last time out, UFC 271, as I said, he did great. It went to a decision. It was very close. Izzy clearly won. You know, he was ahead on the rounds, but the rounds were very, very close. Okay, so Robert obviously isn't giving up. When you look at Marvin Vettori's record, the only two people to beat him in the last, how many years? 6 years, is Israel Adesanya. When you look at Robert Whittaker, the only person to beat him twice in the middleweight division is Israel Adesanya. So they've both only fallen to Israel Adesanya in recent time.
That guy is dangerous.
So of course they've got other losses outside the UFC earlier, long time ago. Robert Whittaker at a different weight class when he was at welterweight. He was struggling to make weight and it affects your ability to take a shot. But since he's come up to middleweight, he's looked sensational and it's only been the champ to beat him. Now as I say, Marvin Vettori, he fought Israel Adesanya, didn't go his way, had a good effort, tried for some takedowns, but listen, Izzy's the man. He's a very, very tough nut to crack. He's a difficult puzzle to solve, a harder man to take down. If you get him down, it's incredible to keep him down, and on the feet, the man's an absolute wizard. He's beautiful to watch. I love the technicality. So no shame to either man, okay? But they both want to get a crack at the belt again, okay? As fighters, we all want to be the champ. We all want to make money, okay? We're prize fighters, and you want to be the champion because you go through all that sacrifice, the blood, the sweat, the tears, you know, the time away from family, the training camps. They're absolutely fucking grueling. We do it, yes, for the money, for the glory, but because we want to be the champion. Now, the point of what I'm saying here is that Robert just lost to Izzy. Vettori's got one fight since when he lost to Izzy, but they both just fought the champ. You know what I mean? And now they're going to fight each other. So that is a very, very dangerous thing to do because one of them is guaranteed to lose. Unless it's a draw, but that ain't going to happen. Watch it be a goddamn draw now. But that ain't going to happen. So one of them's going to lose and take a step down. If this was boxing, there's no way they would go up against the other number one contender. They would have a tune-up fight. They would take someone way further down that they were guaranteed to win. That's why I respect both of these men. And that's why the UFC is so great.
What do you not understand about that?
Because the best fight the best all the time. Because the likelihood is, even if Robert Whittaker wins, he's not going to get a title fight. If Marvin Vettori wins, he's not going to get a title fight. Because they just lost to Izzy very, very recently. So again, I just wanted to highlight that to you to tell you how much I respect these men and why you've got to tune in and watch these fights, because you've got two badass men that have got great skills, that don't tire, that don't gas, that wear the heart on the sleeves, right? And they live by the sword, they die by the sword. They truly do. Now, Marvin Vettori, last time out we saw him, 2 fights ago he lost to Izzy, but the last time was against Paulo Costa. Right? Paulo Costa, as we know, just beat Luke Rockhold recently, had a great performance, a great victory. And against Marvin Vettori, and again, this is why Vettori, you got to respect this man. He came in 20 pounds overweight. There's no way he was going to make 185. Okay, so at the last minute, Vettori agreed to step up a weight class, agreed to fight him at 205. Didn't want to cancel the fight, didn't think he was going to have an unfair advantage. He said, no, I've come this far, I've done my training camp, I want to fight. So fuck it, he's the unprofessional one. If we've got to do it at 205, then we'll do it at 205. And I called that fight, and I'm telling you, that fight, Marvin Vettori versus Paulo Costa, that was something special, because both men put it all on the line. The fucking blows that Marvin Vettori ate from Paulo Costa was sickening. The power of some of those kicks that he took. I mean, the slap, it echoed around the apex. Obviously, it's not the loudest arena, not many people there, so you could really hear the blows. Now, of course, he didn't just take it, he gave a lot, and he won that fight, a very gutsy, hard, earned decision. There was no doubt in my mind Marvin Vettori clearly won that fight. But the performance that he put on, and certainly given all the factors going into it, with him coming in at 205, coming in way heavier, I just say so much respect for him. Now, Robert Whittaker on the flip side, let's talk about him for a second. We know what he's going to do. He's got beautiful boxing, he's got very, very fast feet, excellent jiu-jitsu, and a lot of wrestling. Now, Marvin Vettori against Israel Adesanya was trying to take him down, because that's what everybody tries to do against Izzy. I don't think Marvin's really going to try and waste too much energy trying to take Robert down. Robert's very, very light and mobile on his feet. He's going to dance all over the place. He's going to rush in. He's going to land shots. He's going to look for that left high kick. That's one of his signature blows from the southpaw stance. The left hook. He's very good boxing, underrated jiu-jitsu, and underrated wrestling. Yes, he wasn't really able to get Izzy down and hold him down, but he's a really, really good wrestler. You know, when he fought Darren Till, the extremely close fight, extremely close, and I believe it came down to that takedown that Robert Whittaker got in the 5th round on Fight Island that sealed the victory for him. And by the way, that fight against Robert Whittaker is why I still think that Darren Till will be a champion one day. Because that fight was so close. Look at that fight. That was close. But it was the wrestling of Robert Whittaker that got the job done, that got the victory. So look for Robert to really try and utilize some wrestling in this fight. Vettori's going to keep it on the feet. He's going to use a lot of boxing, a lot of kicks, and it's going to be a sensational fight. Unfortunately, I can't give you a prediction. But what I will say, because I'm commentating, I do predict this. It will be the fight of the night. It will be an incredible fight that people will not forget for quite some time. Now, let's just have a look at the rest of the card. We'll just go through some of the other fights. Main event, we've got Charles Jourdain taking on Nathaniel Wood. If you don't know who Charles Jourdain is, he's fucking awesome. Then we've got John Makdessi taking on Nasrat Haqparast, the mini Gastelum. Then we got Alicia Di Chirico, another Italian, taking on Roman Kopylov. And then, of course, we get to the co-main event. Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vettori, and then Cyril Gane and Tai Tuivasa. So not a bad main card for the first ever event in Paris. And they're going to love it. They are absolutely going to love it. You know, it's surprising that in this modern day and age, it was still banned up until, I think it was a couple of years ago now. But still, there it is. The rest of the world is catching on to what a tremendous, magnificent sport mixed martial arts is. You know, it's weird because in this day and age, I still meet people that are dismissive of mixed martial arts. I'm out here in Sofia, Bulgaria right now, and a lot of the actors that I talk to, they don't really like it. They think it's too barbaric, and I've spent a lot of time trying to educate them. They weren't nasty or negative or disrespectful. They just said they have a real issue seeing somebody on the floor taking blows and all the rest of it. I'm trying to educate them that no, the smaller gloves are less concussive. There's more deaths in boxing. There's more long-term injuries in boxing. But sometimes, you know, you're speaking to idiots. I'm I'm not calling them idiots, but they might be idiots. But still, that's why it was banned in France. And I'm sure now the people are going to absolutely love it. If Cyril Gane gets the win, they've got a French superstar. And you've got to think a rematch with Francis Ngannou has to happen in France at some point. But still, there it is. Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vettori. Fight of the night at UFC Paris. I'll see you there.